I have with me Tommy Sotomayor, radio talk show host, film producer, and YouTube star. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you.
You're doing a lot of work on YouTube.
I do a lot. My presence is, I just won't be quiet. That's the thing.
Yeah. Just in short, how did you get into YouTube, doing YouTube?
Well, I started off with doing a small little radio show on something called Blog Talk Radio in 2009. And then the woman that was producing the show would take clips from that show and put it on YouTube. Next thing you know, one of them went viral. And it was called, I think the first one that went viral was called The Type of Black Woman Everyone Dislikes. And but I didn't even know what viral was at that moment.
Right.
And so they just kept putting more stuff on YouTube. And then YouTube became where I was biggest.
You are attacked too. I mean, they call you names, sellout, Uncle Tom, crazy, you hate women, you hate men, you hate everything. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with that?
A lot of it's difficult. Lately, what I've been dealing with is like my YouTube channels will go down all the time. I had one with 750,000 subscribers. It was gone. Then another one with 500,000 gone. I can't keep an Instagram up. My Facebook pages are always suspended. My daughter's mom had to move because they put her address and phone number out. They put my 100-year-old grandmother's phone number and address out. My mother's church, they went to her church. They went to her job.
Wow.
Yeah, and these are all so-called black people that believe in freedom of speech whenever they're saying Black Lives Matter.
Are you surprised that they're so mean and nasty?
You would think I wouldn't be, but I believe in the kindness of humans. I mean, I grew up in a bad neighborhood and I've seen some of the worst things, but I just assumed that at some point in time we would, especially with all the kumbaya that's out in the public, that, you know, black people would be the people who you would look for comfort. But that's actually the opposite of it. I was talking to my mom, who's a pastor in Atlanta. When we grew up, we really didn't like white people. White people were evil. And then as I got older, I started to realize no black person ever gave my mom a job. No black person helped us get out of the hood. No black person did anything for my mom. So about 2 years ago, I had a discussion with her and she literally had to have a come to Jesus moment. I said, do you notice like everything that you do, even her church when it first started, white people allowed her to come and do it at their building until it got big enough to where she could get our own. And I said, name one black person that's ever given you a job in your whole life. And she said, well, that's because black people don't have work. I was like, but you have something, I have something.
Yeah. We
We can hire black people. Why do you believe we are the hardest people on each other? And I guess that's what I came to realize the more I did this, that I'm getting viciously attacked by the same people who claim to be victims.
Yeah. For the last 26 years, most of my troubles have come from black people. Most of the negative attacks have been from black people. I was surprised at first, but now I understand why they do it. So.
Well, help me out. Why? Because they expected us at one point to be like, oh, they're mad at each other. I was like, no, I'm a comedian. I make jokes, but I'm not looking to take another black man down, but they literally are. I had a GoFundMe up, and they took the GoFundMe down because somebody said that I'm using the money to buy weapons.
That's amazing, man.
And they took it down.
Wow, but you still overcome all that, right?
Yeah, you have to. You have to have contingency plans in life.
One thing you said that stood with me is that are black people cursed? You asked that question because all around the world, blacks seem to be suffering and they're hated and they just seem to be bad off in life. Yep. And you ask, are they cursed? Do you believe that blacks are cursed?
I don't know. People of your ilk, religious people, they point to text in the Bible that says, and you know this text correct, you have to start asking questions. I mean, if the Cleveland Browns never win a game, you start asking maybe their players suck.
Yeah.
So if you look at us and around the world, like gold, diamonds, and all that stuff are in places where are predominantly black, but blacks don't own any of it.
Right.
Oil, predominantly black.
Yeah.
Blacks don't own any of it. You look in America right now, blacks still make the poorest excuse I've ever heard for failing in schools by saying, well, it's culturally biased. But then I watch people who come from China, first generation Chinese. I grew up with a girl, she came to high school, that was her first in America, 9th grade. She's valedictorian. So why is it that blacks believe that, well, the SATs are culturally biased when this is the only culture we know?
Yeah.
So everyone else comes here and they get it right. Even the blacks from Africa come here and they're the smartest students.
That's right. But the blacks here hate them for that too. They start being mad at them and you think you're better than us and blah, blah, blah.
And I want to ask you a question. I
Yes.
just want you to think about it. You know, black women have been running around lately and saying, we're the most educated group in the United States. If they believe that, number one, it's not true. But number two, if they believed it, why are their kids the least educated? That wouldn't make any sense. That
Yeah.
I'm really good at basketball and my child's never played. If these women who are raising their children at a 76% clip, single, why aren't their children as smart as they are since they're so smart?
That's a good question. And speaking of women, you know, I've heard over and over that you hate women and that you especially hate black women and you call them the B word and I've never heard you call them B word. Do you call them?
Oh,
the
I
B?
do.
You do?
I'm not going to lie about that. I call them bossy all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
And so first of all, just for the record, do you hate women or black women?
No, I don't hate black women.
You
What I
just-
look at it is they're the ones who have been in control for the last some odd years. And they've been proud of it, saying that they're the backbone of the community to the point of where people said in public, and Barack Obama said it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be the coach or you're going to be the GM of this team, if the team is failing, where does the blame lie? So they get mad that I point the blame at them, but they stand up every day, say they don't need a man, I'm independent, I run everything.
Right.
Can't be the boss without paying the cost.
And why do you call them the B word? Why do
Oh,
you
I'm a
use
child
that?
of the 80s and 90s, and for some reason we speak, like the N word is just, like the way blacks use the N word is just, it means a guy.
Right.
The B word just means a woman. So I fall back into that language because you have to think about it. If the people you're looking to change speak a certain language, speaking a different language usually isn't going to get to them. Why do you think I shake so many people up? I speak their language.
One thing I want to ask you that, do you regret in the way you talk about black women?
No, because I don't think they would have listened to me. I remember being in high school and college. I remember the first time I tried to date a black girl. I was in college, first time. And I walked up to her and I thought, well, talk to white girls this way, I'm going to talk to her that way. And she was walking into this place called Little 5 Points in Atlanta. And I said, hey, excuse me, miss. She kept walking. I said, well, maybe she didn't hear me. I said, excuse me, miss. And she turned around and she said, I know you didn't, and walked off. And so people was looking at me and they're like, ooh. And I was like, ooh. So that was like, I was like, this is a different animal. And so no, I don't, because when you're nice to them, they don't listen. You have to understand, and I hate to say it this way, there have been girls who's like, I hate him. And then they'll fly out to Arizona to spend the night.
Uh-huh.
So why is that? Why would an individual who listens to you use these words? But then again, look at all the rappers who use B, H, and all this stuff, and look how many baby mamas they had.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember in college, there was these guys named Qs, Omega Psi Phi. Well, they are the most vulgar dudes on campus. And if you go to the step show, all they do is use B, H, and any other word. And yet the girls would stand up and be like, ooh, that's my boyfriend. There'd be like 5 of them saying, ooh, that's my boyfriend. And then they get to fighting over him.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, it doesn't work. What's normal in every other community, which is sad, is not normal in ours. It just isn't.
When I interviewed you on my radio show and you opened up honestly about your emotions and you know, sometimes you felt like a woman because of that emotion, and are you still feeling that way or have you gotten over that?
But I didn't feel like a woman. You got me in trouble by saying that. You got me up there like I'm Shania Twain. It's not what I said. I was like, I'm gonna get it back for that.
You said and that you are more, and that you are more like a female than a male.
A lot of
at
our
times.
actions, yes, a lot of the actions that we do, because if you're raised by a lot of women, you respond the way they do, even though it's not helpful. And I try to explain this to people. Imagine, if you're a boy and you watch your mom, like mine. My mom used to watch, she's gonna hate me for telling the story, but she used to go into the store, and back when I was young, they didn't have scanners. They had the little tags on them for the prices.
Yeah.
But she would tear one tag off of something cheaper and put it on something expensive. And the white people would be like, ma'am, we don't think that refrigerator's $3.99. And she'd say, well, that's what it say, you better. And she would act a fool, and to the point of where they would be like, just take it. So the guy, as a boy, you say, well, that's all you have to do is act a fool, and people give you stuff. But you don't realize, no, you're a man. You act a fool, somebody gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Like they show you on television right now. Women get mad at you when they're on cheaters. If they catch a man cheating, they get to slap him in the face.
Isn't that amazing?
If you catch a woman cheating, you can't slap her in the face.
I know. That is so crazy to me.
So as a man, you don't get the understanding that, well, you can't act like that.
Yeah.
A lot of brothers are dying because they're acting like women. Their responses are like women. You can watch them online right now. They're arguing, talking about clothing like
Yeah.
women. Almost everything they do is just like their mothers.
Most of my attacks come from men who are attacking me in the way that a woman would attack me. You know, it's not like manly at all.
Yep.
What is a man?
I think a man is a person that doesn't make excuses for his life. A man is one that says, I just want the opportunity to build and take control of my own life. Most people, women want the help of someone to give them
Yeah,
something. or
that's for
whatever.
sure.
A man's like, no, because if I see whatever lane you're in, I want to create my own. Like if you notice what men and women do, if you have a beautiful wife, I want to get one more beautiful than yours. If a woman sees a woman with a nice husband or a handsome husband, she wants her husband.
Yeah.
So our mentality is
interesting.
different.
Yeah.
So as a man, I just think it's someone who wants complete autonomy in his own life to make his own way.
Do you feel like a man?
Right now, yes.
And what does a man feel like?
Like every day you wake up, it's a new challenge for you to help build something for someone else. I love creating opportunities for people. To me, that's a man. I love showing somebody else how I got through this area, like a Lewis and Clark, so to speak. Like you build the trail and they follow. That's what a man is. So I wake up every day and I feel good because I've done something that no one else had done.
Yeah, I noticed that I at one time had my mother's identity and my grandmother's because they pretty much raised me, even though my grandfather was around.
Yeah, that's illegal, right?
And
That's called identity theft.
and so I had these emotions. You know, I was very insecure. I had doubt. I had fear. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. But when I forgave my mother, and God took all that away from me, He took away all those emotions. And now I know what a man feels like. And what I realized, there is no feeling to being a man. You just see what's right. You get up and do what you need to do without having to think about it or feel about it. It's a way of life. There's a feeling being a woman, but not a feeling to being a man.
Jesse, people don't talk about it, but we probably need to speak about it more. There are a lot of black men who run around with a lot of angst towards their mothers.
Yeah, most men hate their mothers. But especially black men because they've been raised by them.
And you were beaten by them. Think about it. Most
Yeah.
black men, the first person who beat them up was a female named their mom.
That's
and they
right.
couldn't fight them back.
That's right.
So why do you think the first thing they do when they go to school is fight some other boy to
Yeah.
get their manhood back?
Well, that's because they hate their mothers for doing that and their grandmothers. And so you become like what you hate. And so they start acting, they take on that identity and they act the same way all through life unless they learn to forgive and overcome it.
Man, think about how quick they want to kill us coons.
Yeah. Whereas a real man, if he saw something wrong or disagreed with you, he would reach out to help you. You know, is there anything I can do? You're seeing this wrong. Blah, 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 right?
Right,
But,
talk
yeah,
it out. Conflict resolution is something we usually aren't given as black.
That's right.
Why do you think they're shooting up at the club? Somebody disrespected them.
Absolutely.
And they come back and they shoot the club up.
But they don't know that that's the nature of their mothers and grandmothers.